Hello, and welcome to another interview that we're doing with some of the artists that are participating in the Riverdale Art Walk, which starts this weekend. So the online show will be opening on tomorrow and will run until July 2nd. There is a tent tour this weekend, so a few of the artists are going to be hanging out their tents at the end of their driveways or in parking lots, so you can actually see the work in real life. So we're pretty excited about that. We're also doing some interviews like this. So Janet Taylor is my guest today, so I'm just going to bring her right on so we can learn all about her work. And so this is really an opportunity to get to understand a bit of what's going on behind the curtains and have those conversations that normally you'd be able to have in a real live show.
Oh my God,
Hi, Janet.
Worked. Fantastic.
Don't jinx it. Hi, how are you?
I feel like if it's going to go wrong, it goes wrong right at the beginning. So
yes, well, we have had a couple of those already.
That's great.
Yeah.
How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm great. I'm pleased to be here. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's it's one of those things that's missing, right? Like being able to just have those conversations for collectors to get to know the artist and the inspiration, and for the artists to be able to share their work with other people.
I totally agree. I am not doing the tent tour, and I so wish that I was, but it wasn't to be this year. But anyway,
yeah.
You guys are gonna have a ball. Like, I'm so jealous. I so miss that in-person thing. I'm so excited for you.
Oh yeah, I am
I'm
too.
excited about the online show too. Don't get me wrong, but
well, yeah, the online shows are great, and I do think that it's been wonderful how artists have just really pivoted so quickly and so efficiently to being able to have these online shows that a year and a half ago were totally daunting, right?
Yeah.
I think Riverdale was the very first outdoor show that had to go online 2 years ago.
Oh, is that right? Yeah, maybe so.
Yeah.
Right, because I did Artist Project and then flatline, right? Nothing
yeah,
after
exactly.
that for anyone in Toronto. Yeah.
Yeah. So, maybe you can talk a little bit about the work you're going to be showing at Riverdale this year and your inspiration and
sure,
share what we need to know.
Of course, yeah. So the work that I'm going to be showing is behind me, give or take, and I can give you a little pivot tour of that in a minute. It continues my work with gesture, with drawing, with lines as a way to express connection and to express the energy and the sort of fundamental gesture of objects in nature. I spend an inordinate amount of time just wandering around the woods, taking pictures and thinking about things and looking at that basic shape, that basic way that things are put together and that they live in the world and the way that we live with them. And I'm always just trying to bring that expression to the canvases and to the people that are looking at the canvases, hopefully.
So when you're out in nature, do you sketch and do plein air in nature, or do you kind of just try and keep it all in your head and then trying to capture the essence of it when you get back to your studio?
Oh, that's such a good question. I don't paint plein air, although I've been thinking, wouldn't that be fun? I do sketch, and I
kind of intimidating, I think.
I know, it's like a whole separate setup. So I've been like, I don't know. No, I do sketch, and I take a lot of pictures. I have a pretty strong background in photography, and so I do take a lot of pictures, and I do a lot of I think in a very painterly way when I take pictures. I do a lot of intentional camera movement and sort of long exposures, multiple exposures, that kind of thing as sort of a basis for where paintings might end up. But the drawings are really a key part of it. I start with sketching from life, and then I work that down into the fundamental form and the sort of fundamental gesture of the energy of whatever it is that I'm drawing, hopefully.
It would be kind of cool to see a triptych of the sketch and the intentional motion photograph and the final painting.
It would.
Just to see that process.
Yeah. Sometimes in my Instagram, I come close. I'm like, oh, here is the motive. I'll do them like an overlap slide on Instagram, but I've never actually put it together as a piece or in a show. And it would be an interesting exercise. Would actually be a great basis for a whole show, just to do three of everything, right?
Yeah.
The wheels are turning.
Well, especially given the fact that you're obviously some of your background is in photography as well. It kind of makes it sort of interesting.
Yeah. I think it could be fun. So, yeah.
So do you work in acrylics or a couple of different mediums, or what's your process?
Everything on the wall, everything that is on canvas is acrylic and graphite together. Mostly acrylic at the moment, but it kind of comes and goes. I sometimes make the acrylic perform almost like watercolor, like more washy and kind of ethereal, because I do a lot of work in sketchbooks in watercolor and pencil, or watercolor and ink. But those sketchbooks are just for me. They don't ever end up in the world. So everything that goes out in the world is
And
pretty much
well, until you're
acrylic.
super
Yeah.
famous, and then those
Oh,
sketchbooks will,
well, of
like
course, they'll
inform
be
your
of
work.
inestimable value at that point. But
Absolutely. One can only hope.
yeah, right? Probably won't matter to me at that point.
No.
Be great for
And
my
so,
estate.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that's important. Building the legacy is important.
Right, yeah.
So I see that your work often it seems to have one dominant color, and then kind of obviously a lot of variations from that. Is there kind of a intent behind the color, or is it just how you're feeling, or what's the thought
Um,
process there?
Yeah, this group of work, that is how it turned out, I have to say. It's not always the case. Sometimes they're a little more washy and they have a little more color in them. But these ones, I was really thinking about the drawing a lot, I think, when I was working. Plus, I don't know, I think our worlds are a little bit monochrome at the moment, but hopefully that's changing. Yeah, so there's no particular meaning to it. It's just where the paintings wanted to go in this particular series. So. But I often do work with kind of large areas of wash or gradient or solid, and then just mark making within that. So
Hmm.
um, yeah, they're probably pretty graphic for a lot of painters. But
Right. Yeah. Well, and I imagine like
you go where
everything
you
too.
go, right?
Yeah, you go where you go, but also I'm sure it benefits from being seen in real life versus virtually, where you
I
don't see
think
all
they
of the
do. There's a
minutia
lot
and the
of
details.
texture and minutia, and yeah, I can't wait for
Yeah.
those live shows to come back. That is for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
And so
Soon.
are you in your studio space now?
I am, well, for the moment, because I'm moving. But yes, this is my studio space at the moment. I can just give you a little like pan
Sure.
tour of like, okay,
I'm
there's my
nosy, so I just love
shelves.
to
Oh
see where
yeah.
people paint.
Yeah. So, oh yeah, this is actually my painting wall. It's got all my painting, all some of the
Oh
paintings from the
yeah.
show up there right now. And then I have this beautiful window and
Oh, lovely. Bring
yeah.
the nature in.
Yes, yes, even in the city. Yeah. And then I have a little kind of shoebox studio up north that I use too. But we're moving. I'm leaving this studio in a month, so it's
Oh wow.
very, yeah, which is why I'm not doing the physical show because it's just too much to be moving
Yeah.
and doing that
We've
at the
heard that
same
from a lot of
time.
people actually. Yeah, like a
Yeah.
lot of people moving out of the city.
Yep.
Um,
Moving out
yeah.
of the city. Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
into larger spaces too. I know I'm seeing some of
Yeah.
these other studios. I'm like, oh my goodness, they are huge.
Yeah. I have 800 square feet at the new house, so I'm
Oh,
so
geez.
excited. We're actually moving to Nova Scotia, so
Oh,
um,
lovely,
yeah,
lovely.
yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah,
But
so it'll be
I have
interesting to see how
love
that
this
changes.
studio, and it's actually I know that the woman that's coming in here is also an artist, and so I think that all the good karma that I've accumulated in this space will continue for her. So
Well, excellent. Well, maybe she
yeah,
will one day do the Riverdale Art Walk as well.
maybe she will. I'll have to mention that to her.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see though how if you're moving out to a different part of the country where there's different landscapes, whether or not the work changes.
It will be
Since
really interesting to see.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean, I've spent a lot of time in Nova Scotia. I've shown down there. But I think it is a little bit different. And my relationship to it will be different because I think my life will be a lot calmer once I'm out there. That's the plan anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, I'm really excited. But I'm
fabulous.
excited about this show too. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I am too. It's
Yeah.
going to be great. And so, do you
Yeah.
typically work in can I see some little guys there and some larger format? Do you have kind of a favorite format or shape, or you just kind of?
Um, I like to work about 3 by 4, which is the one behind me, or maybe a little bit smaller, like a 24 by 24. I do the small ones because I find that, not everyone can reach for a 4 foot by 3 foot painting as their startup art purchase. So I like
Hmm.
to work small, but then those are also just sort of like sketches. Like I like to, these are not sketches, but I start that way and then I can just keep working them until they get to be paintings. But a lot of times I'll
Yeah,
just like do a sketch and I'll be like, I'm over it, and just go over it. And eventually it ends up as a painting. But
yeah,
yeah,
I do that too actually with my little treasures. Like they truly are sketchbooks for me. Like I don't actually have
yeah,
a formal sketchbook, and you can work through different ideas and lines and colors and combinations and
it's fast,
yeah.
because there's not a lot of area to cover, and it's cost effective to work at that scale for sketching. So yeah,
Hmm.
I know
Yeah, for sure.
I enjoy that size a lot. I like like 12 by 12 is kind of a sweet spot for me. Just like a foot by a foot, that seems to be um, where you kind of hit your stride as like they're real paintings, but
Hmm.
they're just easy. So
And so you have, I'm assuming you have a bunch of different sizes on your store, on your Riverdale
I
Art Walk
do,
store.
yeah,
So
like
something
from
for everybody.
like a little couple 6x6s, and then up to 4 feet by 3 feet is the biggest that I have on there. So
Oh,
um,
excellent.
yeah, yeah. So, and this is, I've got this series, and then if you scroll down, I have a few from my last show as well that are still with me. Even though, why is it you always like the ones you like the best or not the ones that sell? But
I don't know. It's always the
I
way,
don't
isn't it? It's
know,
like they don't
right?
want to leave the
Yeah.
nest.
Yeah, right. You're like, oh, I'm happy to have you around, but I'd love for you to have a new home too because the racks are
Yeah.
getting full. But yeah.
Yeah, I know. Well, I guess moving too, I guess you want to probably, sell them and not
I
necessarily move
know,
them.
I know, I know. Yeah, that's a thing for sure. But I haven't quite figured that out. So maybe Riverdale Art Walk is going to solve all my problems. Everything's
Well,
going to
we can
sell,
certainly hope
and
so.
that would be great.
That would be great. Okay, well,
Yeah.
that's been fabulous. I've really enjoyed learning about your
Yeah.
work, and I
Thank
really look
you.
forward to seeing it in
Nice to
real life
chat.
one
And I
day. I guess
hopefully
I'll have to
we'll
come
see
out
you
to
in
Nova Scotia
person.
now, though.
Sorry?
Now I'll have to come out to Nova Scotia to see it, though.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm doing artist project already. I'll be coming back to show for
Oh,
sure.
good.
So
Okay,
yeah,
excellent.
I will
Well,
be
we'll see you
coming back to
there.
the city. That'd be great. Thanks a lot.
Okay, thank you so much. All
Okay.
right, see
All
you
right.
later.
Bye.
Bye. And don't forget to
Bye.
check out Barbara's work. Go to riverdaleartwalk.ca. There is a link to all of the artists that are participating, including Barbara's. Buy all of her work so she doesn't have to ship it all the way out east. So it would be great. And
Yeah.
if you're around, don't forget to check out the tent tour that's happening this weekend.
Okay.
Have a great
Thanks,
day.
Kate.
All
Bye.
right. Bye-bye.